Hare Krishna. Today we will hear the glories of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8. Lord Sri Shiva said to Mother Parvati, "My dear Parvati, now listen to the glories of the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. After listening to this, you will feel a great joy." In the south, there was an important town of the name Amardhakapur, in which a Brahmana of the name Bhavasharma lived. He had taken a prostitute as his wife, and Bhavasharma, he used to enjoy eating meat, drinking wine, stealing, going with others' wife, and hunting. One day, that sinful Bhavasharma, he was invited to a party where he drank so much alcohol that it started to come out of his mouth. After the party, he became very sick and suffered from chronic dysentery, and after many days of this suffering, he died and he attained the body of a date palm tree. One day, two Brahma Rakshasas, ghosts, they came and took shelter under that tree, that date palm tree. And their previous life story was like the person, the two Brahma Rakshasa, no, out of them, one was a male, another was a female. The male was a Brahmana by the name Kushibal in his previous birth, who was very learned in the Vedas, and he had studied all branches of knowledge. The other Brahma Rakshasa was his wife in the previous birth, and his wife's name was Kumati, who was very evil minded. Although that Brahmana was very learned, he was also very greedy. Along with his wife, he used to collect lots of charity every day, but he would never give any charity to any other Brahmana. When their time came to die, they both attained the forms of Brahma Rakshasa. As Brahma Rakshasa, they continuously wandered here and there over the earth, suffering from hunger and thirst. One day, they rested under the date palm tree, and at that time, the wife inquired from the husband, "Oh, dear husband, how can we get free from this curse of being Brahma Rakshasa?" Then the husband is replying, "By knowledge of Brahma, by the knowledge of the self, by knowledge of fruitive activities. Without such knowledge, it is not possible to get free from our sinful reactions." Upon hearing this, the wife, who was in the form of Brahma Rakshasa, she is inquiring, "Oh my Shri, what is Brahma? What is self? What are fruitive activities?" Like this, she is saying, "Kim tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatmam, Kim Karma Purushottamam." So, completely by accident, this wife happened to chant half of the first shloka of the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. At that time, having heard that half shloka, Bhava Sharma broke free from that form as a tree and again attained a body of a Brahmana, completely free from all sin. Suddenly, from the sky came a flower airplane which took that husband and wife back home, back to Godhead, Vaikuntha. So afterwards, that Brahmana, Bhavasharma, with great respect, wrote down that half shloka, Kim Tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatmam, Kim Karma Purushottama, and with the intention of worshipping Lord Sri Krishna, he went to Kashipuri and started performing great austerities while continuously chanting that half shloka. Meanwhile, in Vaikuntha, Mother Lakshmi, seeing Lord Sri Vishnu had risen suddenly from taking rest, inquired with folded hands, "Why have you risen so suddenly from your sleep, Lord?" So, to which Lord Sri Vishnu is replying, "My dear Lakshmi, in Kashipuri, on the banks of the river Ganges, my devotee is performing great austerities, continuously chanting half a shloka of the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. For a long time, I have been thinking how to award his devotion." So, Mother Parvati is inquiring to Sri Shiva, when Sri Vishnu was so pleased with his devotee, what benediction did he bestow upon him? Sri Shiva is saying, "Bhavasharma went to Vaikuntha to engage in the eternal service of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Vishnu. Not only that, but all his ancestors also attained the lotus feet of Lord Sri Vishnu. So, my dear Parvati, I have described to you just a little of the glories of the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.